A student produced this for UND's TV show, Studio One.
The National Education Association says most of America's soldiers, sailors, and Air Force personnel join the military before turning 20 years old. Often, this is the only job they've ever held, making the job search more difficult when they finish their service. UND Veteran and Non-Traditional Student Services Coordinator Jessica Rosenkrantz joins us today to discuss the importance of encouraging veterans to continue their education. Thanks for being with us today, Jessica.
Thank you.
So I know that there are a lot of non-traditional and veteran students on a college campus. Can you tell me briefly what a non-traditional student is?
Sure. A non-traditional student, as UND defines it, is someone 25 years of age or older, or someone that has military experience regardless of age. So that's how we're able to pull that information for data purposes. But it can be anyone that has kind of outside experience, someone that's taken a couple of years off of school, maybe someone that's coming to campus that has a child right out of high school. Any of those extra situations and circumstances would qualify as non-traditional, but for data purposes, we're able to reach out based on age and military experience.
Okay, and I know that the University of North Dakota is considered a military-friendly campus.
Yes.
What does that mean?
It has a couple of different meanings, actually. For anyone that is in military service, they would recognize Yellow Ribbon Program. That is something that we offer on our campus, is the Yellow Ribbon Program. We have a Veterans Lounge for students. We have a certifying official on campus, as well as myself. I would be the Veterans Coordinator. So I work with outreach for students, faculty, and staff. And then I also am an advocate for them in different campus groups that are going on, as well as answering any questions that they might have. They know that they can always come to me. And then I also help a little bit with the financial portion as well.
Okay, so I know you mentioned a little bit, but what more do you do with students to make that transition of going back to school easier?
Sure. We have someone on campus that works strictly with the financial part, and then I do the coordinating and outreach, so that's more of where that comes into play. So a couple of services that we provide for those students, we have a weekly gathering for students to kind of help integrate them into campus, build a support system and network for them. That's something that we offer. Some of the things that you don't even think about, updating the website to make it more user-friendly. Like I said, the other individual that I work with, she works more with the finances, and so I'm able to tackle some of those other things that students encounter. We have come up with different ways for students to sign up to use their benefits, hopefully making it easier for the students. All different kinds of things like that, as well as creating the Veteran Lounge. That's new, coming up. We should have it ready in May.
Okay, so can you give me an example of a student with military background who had a transition and how it was hard for them?
We have students of all different ages, so sometimes they're 40, sometimes they might be 23. So a variety of ages, but they might have trouble just really understanding maybe what the professor wants. A professor will often give an assignment that's very abstract, and when a military person with military experience is coming into that, they're very used to structure and strict guidelines and, you know, this is what you need to do to get done. And sometimes they're not given that in the classroom. So we work with the faculty and staff members to kind of just make them aware of that there is that difference, that transitional period. And then we also work with the student as well, just letting them know, you know, you need to work more with your professors to figure some of those things out. You need to ask more questions. So those are just some of the things.
Okay, and you said you work with staff as well. What do you do for them that makes their position of this easier?
A lot of it is just knowledge. They don't realize everything that veteran students have to go through to come back to school. There's always forms and paperwork to fill out, but there is also another piece of it. We've had PTSD training for faculty and staff that wanted to attend, just letting them know the different pieces that the military students have to work with and what do those different pieces mean, which department works with those different pieces. So it's more just open communication on campus, and once they have a better understanding of that, then they're able to better help the student instead of just redirecting that student to another office.
Okay, so how could a veteran student treat their coursework or university experience in general differently?
Well, I guess I would encourage them to talk with their professors and ask more questions. Oftentimes they don't ask questions, so that can be hard, but really trying to get out of that shell. But then also kind of make friends on campus. Even if you don't have questions about the assignment, get to know your faculty and your staff, get to know your advisor, but then get involved on campus as well. Oftentimes that can be a struggle because they look at their education as more of a job. They're here to get a job taken care of, so they don't necessarily have those ties.
Okay, so what are the advantages of having a military background as a student?
Really, they have all of that extra experience that they bring to it, so they are very knowledgeable in a wide variety of areas. They're used to responsibility. They're used to getting the job done, again, without asking questions, without a whole lot of instruction. They do a very good job with that, so that's one of the reasons why I like working with the veterans.
Great, well thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you.